right, so we've got all of our new stickers on there. I saved a couple of them. Abby's gonna use them inside. But we added some more of our oval stickers right here. The Glen Canyon, Grand Canyon, and then also Vermilion Cliffs, Petrified Forest. So we already had the Grand Staircase on here. I couldn't remember if we had that. So
because we loved it so much.
Yeah, this is one of our favorite
yes.
spots so far that we have done. All right, Glen Canyon here, and then Meteor Crater, Antelope Point, Lake Powell, Petrified Forest National Park, Monument Valley, Antelope Canyon, and then we added this Grand Canyon sticker down here as well. So that's it.
It's great.
We'll have a few more though to add to this trip.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to start putting some over on that side. One of my plans is to actually get the spare tire off the back and get it mounted underneath the camper. It just hasn't happened yet, so that's in the works. And then we can start filling out this side of the Kodiak as well.
Yeah.
So there we go. Our sticker collection. It's quite impressive. People love looking at it.
We see people standing back there all the time.
Yeah, and they ask about it.
And honestly, it's one of my favorite things about our camper. It's going to be really, really hard for me to give up the camper.
Yep.
Because it's just, I just love it. I love the stickers inside. I love the stickers outside.
Me too.
I love our camper.
I said that the other day. I said, you know, I really don't want to upgrade just because of our sticker collection.
I know.
But Abby's she's got some ideas to maybe capture this, to maybe put on another one. I don't know.
Yes.
But we're going to worry about that later.
Agreed. Let's worry about how beautiful this spot is.
Look at this place.
Oh.
This is a pretty cool little campground.
Yeah.
Another lady traveling, she just pulled in over there. She's got her little teardrop camper she's using tonight.
Yep.
She came over and talked to us, and she's on her way to Moab tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Are we going to do a chat about our...
I would like to talk about what happened today, yes.
Abby's getting pretty cold. Look at her.
I'm freezing. It is freezing out here now.
It gets cold at night. It's still getting cold at night. It's going to get down in the 30s again.
Yeah.
And then we got a little breeze through here, so it's making it even colder. But
yeah.
We want to talk about our experiences with Monument Valley.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to that next.
That's a pretty view, isn't it?
Yeah, this is really nice. So,
does it look like we're on a green screen?
I hope.
That's awesome.
This is a really great spot right here.
Yes.
So we wanted to kind of give our thoughts about Monument Valley.
Yes.
We did not get a lot of video in Monument Valley. I mean, we just got a few things that we could share on the Instagram, but we got plenty of pictures of our experience in Monument Valley that I would like to add. So we'll have some kind of slideshow that will play in the video, so you guys can kind of see what we took in there and you know, our experiences that way.
So yesterday we did the drive through. It's a shorter amount for the self-guided. It was great. We got to take a lot of pictures. There's lots of pullouts. Everything is gorgeous. Obviously, we got a Navajo taco at what's that point?
I can't remember. Oh, John Ford Point.
Yes.
Yeah, we were going to recommend. So you go in, like if you want to go in and you can certainly picnic, but if you want to plan your visit to where you go in, and once you get to John Ford Point, you can stop there. There's a great little, some kind of little, food shack there where they make Navajo, American, and Mexican food.
And there was a kitty.
The kitty came right up next to Abby, knew what it was doing, and was
like,
waiting.
Here's the next sucker that's going to give me food.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, I didn't feed it.
We gave it a few beans off the Navajo taco. All of the main sections that you want to stop and get pictures at, they have a big pull off there, so you can do that.
The Mittens, the Three Sisters, yes.
Yep, there's plenty of room there to do that. And some of those pull offs, there's some natives there set up selling some of their handmade jewelry. So please, patronize one or two of them in there.
Plus they're gorgeous. It's gorgeous jewelry. I definitely got a few treasures.
Yep. One of the other things to keep in mind if you're interested in going in, they do not allow like low profile cars like a sports car, say like a Corvette.
Right.
They don't want you going in with that on the Valley Drive.
Yes.
You can go into the park to the visitor center. No motorcycles of any kind. So even if you have a dual sport, you're not going to be in there because they don't want anybody going
off
off
the
road at
road.
all.
Yep.
No trailers and no RVs of no kind. So
Correct.
you can be in a car, truck, van, just a regular vehicle.
You can park your camper at the visitor center in
Yep.
the park, and you can book a tour, which I'm going to go ahead and
Yeah.
highly recommend because we took a private tour today.
Yep. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
yeah. So if you have like an RV and you don't have another way, you can park there, and there are tour guides constantly coming
Yes.
through there, lined up in the parking lot.
Yes.
Book with one of them; they'll take you in there so you can see the whole thing.
and I will say that taking the tour is definitely worth it because you get to go into areas that you don't get to go on just the
Yep.
the personal drive through, and
Yeah.
the locations that we went today, and they were spectacular
Yeah.
and beautiful, and you get to get really close to a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the things, and it was
Yeah, there's other areas further back that you can't see if you do the drive tour by yourself.
correct.
So, for instance, like one of the areas back there by the totem pole is Sand Spring. It looks like a huge dune in front of the butte. Well, we come around the backside of it, and we finally got to see why it's called Sand Spring because there's a little spring back there.
Yeah.
And we crossed through it and got to see that area. Got to get up really close to the totem pole. He gave us an interesting fact that I didn't know about. He says that Ray Charles,
Yes.
they did a video of him or a commercial or something.
I think it was a Pepsi commercial.
He was on the top of the totem pole, and
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. So we'll have to like dig that up and see if we can find that.
Yes, but it was the tour was amazing, and I want to just say this ahead of time. The Ray was our driver,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
He was. I wanted to just hug him a million times today. He was
Yeah.
wonderful. But I just want to say, if you want to take the tour with him, please contact me, Bob Adventures on Instagram. Send me a private message, and I will send you his contact information because
Yeah.
I highly, highly recommend
Yes,
him and the tour company. It was so great.
Yeah, the company that he works for is great. And what we really, really liked about this is that it was a personal private tour.
It was just
it was
us.
three of us. So it was me and Abby and Ray. And he's an older fella and he grew up here. He grew up, he was born and raised right over in the Golding area, which is right there in town.
Yes.
And he knows this entire country.
He does.
So he was able to talk to us and give us stories the entire time.
We wouldn't have been able to know any of those things normally, and it was the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And
It was
I loved everything that we did in Monument Valley, but we also went to another location.
Yeah.
And it was Mystery Valley.
Mystery Valley.
I feel like crying right
Yeah.
now. I'm not kidding. Like, it was one of my favorite things that I have ever done in my whole life. And the reason is because it's not public land or anything. You are trespassing if
Yeah.
you are not with the tour group or with him or with one of the families there, which that means that it's pristine. Nothing has been touched. I'm sorry.
So we did not expect.
I feel like I'm going to cry.
We did not expect what we ended up seeing back there.
No,
but let me hold on a second. So the first half was in Monument Valley,
which was incredible and wonderful.
and then the second half was in Mystery Valley.
Yes.
We went down to the store, Golding's. We got lunch, a bag lunch, and we took it with us out there. He goes, "We'll have a picnic out there."
Yes.
By the way, he came and picked us up right here at
Yep,
the camper.
at the camp, yep.
And then dropped us off. So anyway, once we got back there, that side where we went over there reminds us of what it looks like in Moab, Utah. Like when we did the 4x4 side-by-side riding back there, that's what that section starts to look like. And some of the areas that he took us to, he takes you to all these really great spots that you can't see from the road. You don't even know it's back there.
No.
There are arches back there that we
Yes.
went to.
There are ruins there. I mean,
The ancient Pabloan cliff dwelling type ruins are back there.
yes, in
Several places.
locations.
And there was a couple of them that we got to walk all the way up right there at
And
them.
we were the only people there.
Yep.
And my favorite thing, there was pottery everywhere.
Pottery shards in different sections.
I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, I was like weeping. I thought it was again one of my favorite things I've ever done.
It was interesting.
Unbelievable, and it's so pristine and untouched there. I mean, the fact that there are ruins there and pottery that people haven't come and taken.
Yep.
Don't you take anything. Don't you take anything.
Yeah,
It's not right. So
they
leave
will,
it so when people come to visit, they can see the pottery, they can see the ruins. It was the most beautiful thing. They were everywhere.
Some of those areas back there where some of the cliff dwelling homes were built, there's petroglyphs back there.
There are.
All over the wall. Some of them, there was just a few. Some of them, there was one, they call it, I forget, something, the little hands. They have their handprints all over the wall there.
And honestly, we decided that we just wanted to immerse ourselves in what we were doing.
Yeah.
And we didn't take a lot of video. I didn't even really take a lot of pictures.
I only took a few videos, and I took several photos so that we would have some to share. And that's why I say I'm going to do a photo, a slideshow to share with you. But we both just looked at each other and said, let's go in there and enjoy it for ourselves. Let's not worry about taking that camera and trying to get every single thing we see. And that was the best decision that we made.
It really was. And quite frankly, you need to come here and do that tour.
We would recommend do that. Do the drive tour yourself. That way you can see what you can see there.
Take your pictures with your family and
do
all that.
And do a private tour. But ask them for the Mystery Valley. I think we passed 2 other tour guides the entire time back there. That was it.
And I also wanted to point out, if you are they don't like to be called professional photographers because they're always learning. But if you are a photographer that is, your passion, you have to book the photography tour. I know that it's more expensive, but they know all the places that have the most beautiful light, the time you have to go. The things that he was telling us, my mind was blown. I would love to come back and do that and just focus on photography. I think it would be an incredible trip to take.
Yeah.
But I know they take them out there, and they were even saying that they'll be in one area for hours because it's so good and the light is so great. And again,
and they do it at different times of the day.
They know this land so well that they know when the sun comes out, when it shines on the buttes correctly, and to be able to get the shot. And so I cannot say enough about this place, about Monument Valley, about our tour today. I am so happy.
Yes. I had forgotten about those other types of tours. So you can come here if you want to do camping. They will take you back there and take you on a camping tour. And some of those places back there were amazing.
Unbelievable.
So you're right next to the huge rock, the big butte rocks. They have these little camp areas set up, so they take you back there. And I had asked them, I was like, well, you got to bring your own stuff or what? And he says they will actually provide everything you need. I don't know, I have no idea what the cost is, but you can do that. They have different camping tours they can do. He was talking about one where they take you all the way up to the top of the butte and you camp up there.
Which would be incredible.
But the photography tours, they do that specifically for people that are taking
professional photographers, yes.
Yes.
Yep. And with all the equipment and everything, and they know what you're after and the shot you want to get. And I think that would just be, don't you want to do that?
It would be awesome. Keep in mind, and the photographers, I know you do it, you have to have a permit, and it's per day. You have to pay per day and a processing fee, so it's not cheap to do that.
No.
But people that do that professionally, though, for a living, it's well worth it.
Yes.
Because they said they'll be back there, and, you might be back there all day and you finally get that one perfect shot.
But our guide, he was so wonderful because he was even explaining to us, if you come in the spring, the sun shines through the eye here, and we're just like, we can see it, and oh my gosh. So it's just,
one of them was called the eagle's eye, because when you look at it a certain way, I think when you're laying down and you're looking up, it looks like the shape of an eagle. In the arch, the hole was the eye. And a lot of the formations back there, he'll say, okay, that looks like an elephant. This looks like a turtle. Jose, what do you see in that butte right there?
Yeah.
What do you see there?
But one more thing too, well, this is probably not the last thing I'm going to say, but in the eagle's, whatever that was, eagle's eye, he said the best place is to lay back against the rock, which we did. And then he started singing.
He sang us a song. It was a Native American song.
I'm not kidding. Like, I cried, and I'm not even afraid to admit it. Like, I'm feeling crying right now. It was the most beautiful thing. I'm sorry, I'm so emotional. I just
great,
absolutely
though.
loved us. I can't.
But like that right there paid for the tour.
I would have spent
It was worth it.
10 times what we spent on it. So
We just laid back on the rock because
Yeah.
he says, all right, just lay back and you look up.
yeah,
And then he's like, all right, I'm going to sing you a song. No video, please, he
Yep.
said. And
Which
he
we
sang a
wouldn't have
song.
anyway.
It was beautiful. The only thing that would have made that better was a campfire and
yeah,
it being dark.
yes. But
so-
oh my gosh, that's not an experience that you get every day. I mean, obviously, and it meant so much to me. And I'm crying over here. I can't help it.
It does mean a lot to Abby. She
does.
really appreciates that, and that's why we're here, and that's why I'm so glad we decided to do that.
Me too.
And, and all we did whenever Jeremy, the owner of the campground, he came over to talk to us. He had asked, he goes, "Do you have any questions about anything?" I said, we're thinking about doing a private tour. He
Who would you recommend? Yeah.
He goes, "My aunt has a tour company here. I'll have her come over and talk to you."
And she did.
So she came over. It was
so cold.
It was 9:30. It was 9:30, and she came over. I was freezing. I asked her. I said, "Can you please come
in."
inside because I am
And she
cold."
did.
We were sitting in there watching a movie.
Yeah.
She was super nice. They'll do. I think they have like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
They have a 3 hour.
Yeah.
They have all kinds
Yeah.
of tours. So it depends on how much time you have and what you want to do.
Yeah.
We did the 6 hour, so we would
did.
highly recommend it.
Yes.
Monument Valley and Mystery Valley is what we did with a lunch break in between.
And it's interesting because I mean, she basically said there are some petroglyphs on the other side, which immediately I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, sign us up for that. But
Yeah.
we also knew that was an area that we might get to go to a place that you don't get to go to normally, and that was exactly what it was.
That's why we went.
And it was
And it just
everything and
reminded
more.
me of what we loved about Moab when we were doing our off-roading. A lot of the rock formations and the hills and everything back there.
And the
looked very
isolation. I
similar
mean, there
to
just
that.
wasn't very many people there, and
Yep.
and all you could hear was the wind and birds.
Yep.
It was just spectacular. So
It was beautiful.
I will never forget this day in my whole life. So I loved
Whenever
it.
we came up to those cliff dwellings, I didn't know we were going to see those back there.
I didn't either.
And I'm like, look at that. That is just simply amazing. And then we would drive to the next spot, and there would be another one up there.
And then we got to one, and he said, "Let's climb up there."
Let's climb
and,
up there.
and we did.
It was in an arch. So it was
Yeah.
in an arch, and then they had one in there on the side. He says that they probably stored some of their food in that one.
And we're talking about like 600 AD.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about recent. And
I just want to check the mic. Yeah.
it was just, I'm sorry I got so emotional. I'm not sorry. I
Don't
love
be
it.
it. Don't be
I
apologizing
love it.
for
I
that.
love it. So definitely come here and do this. And honestly, this campground, I'm gonna highly recommend it.
Oh yeah.
It's been wonderful. The owners are lovely, and
Mm-hmm.
they have been here to check on everyone every day.
Yep.
And it's again here. Just be quiet for a second.
No internal combustion engines now.
There's
It was
nothing.
great.
It's beautiful out here.
The other great thing, we really value our quiet,
We do.
especially when we come to beautiful places like this. And when you visit these kind of places that get kind of busy, full of tourists, I'm not saying that we're not tourists, but it's
We
full
are.
of tourists. Most people that we interact with are not like us. We try to be quiet. We try to keep our voice down so that people aren't hearing what we're talking about. We're not acting like fools and yelling.
There was a kid screaming when he was singing.
Yeah, that was
And I
that
was
was one of the most
devastated.
disrespectful things that I have experienced out
too.
here.
Me too.
Was that he was in the middle of his song, and this was in the Monument Valley section, by the way.
And it
He started singing
echoed
a song.
off the canyon wall there, and
Somebody,
oh my gosh,
one of the other tour guides was down there,
yeah.
and they had 2 kids, and they let their kids run up inside that where we were at,
And
and
they
they
were
were in there screaming while he was trying to sing a song. Luckily, it wasn't the whole time.
No.
They did it some, but even just a little bit is totally disrespectful.
Yes.
And I did not appreciate them letting their kids do that at that time.
No.
Anybody could have heard him singing that song.
Yes.
But we come out here and do things like that because we do appreciate the serenity of it, and being able to be away from the crowds
Yes.
like that is well worth the visit and the money that you spend on it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great memories that we'll always have.
Yes.
And I hope one day we make it back out here and do it again.
I would love
I
to,
really
because
do.
again, I mean, I'd like to go at a different time of the year. I
Yeah.
know the light is going to be different.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, like in the evening time, so the sun's, going that way. It's going to be another hour and a half or so. But so as the sun starts to set on this side, those buttes and those formations you see light up like fire. They
Yes.
look like orange
Yes.
behind us. And that's what he was talking about in some of the places we were at. Is if you come at sunsets, I think it was that last spot, he called it like the 3 discs.
Yes.
Because the formations look like alien ships or whatever. But where you're at, you're looking into Monument Valley, and all the formations are being lit up with the sky at sunsets.
I mean, like I
How
said,
amazing would that be?
every time he talked about one of the shots that he would take the photographers to get, I mean,
Yeah.
we could see it, and
Yeah.
yes,
He knows how to get the shot.
he
and
does.
And he takes good photos
He does.
as well.
Yeah.
I asked him, I was like, have you done photography yourself? He goes, yeah, I've done it. I got a whatever. And so he knows how to get the shot.
But listening to him talk about his family and the Navajo people and some of their traditions, and I mean, it was just, again, it's just not an experience that you get every day. It was,
Yep.
it was a pleasure. It was truly a pleasure.
Yep. So overall, we absolutely loved our experience here.
5 stars.
5 stars. We don't have any complaints.
Not a single one.
It's just, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Got to come and see it. Come and experience
do.
this place. This
Yeah.
is really beautiful.
Yes.
So this is our last night. We're going to be enjoying it.
Oh, I'm sad.
We're going to be packing up and heading out in the morning, but we have a couple more really, really beautiful spots that we cannot wait to get to.
Yeah.
It's going to be more dry camping just like we're doing here, but we have some adventures that we're going to be doing during
Yeah.
the day while we're at these spots.
You know, I would like to say one more thing. You know, when you go to a place like the Grand Canyon, we didn't get to do the North Rim. It was closed. So there's a lot of places that you go where you just don't get to do everything. And I'm not saying that we did everything that there is to do here, but we've done Monument Valley. I mean, that tour made it really
Yep.
feel like you really got to see it.
Yes.
You know, and just doing the drive, I promise you, does not do that. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful to do. And if you only have that time,
I would recommend, just like we did, 2 days here, 2 full days.
yes.
So that you have plenty of time to get in both tours.
Yes. And if you only have the one day, do the tour.
Yep. Now, you can still do the tour with a tour guide, and he'll take you to all those same spots.
Yes.
And drop you off. But we told him, like, we did this yesterday, so
We want to go
he,
to the
he pulled
yeah.
into the first one. He goes, so you guys already did this? We're like, yeah. He goes, all right, we're going to go to the back then.
Yep.
So he just went on to the back.
Yeah.
And he didn't worry about the other spots.
No.
Because he knew that we did them.
No. But he knew the plants and he knew the animals that were there, and
Yeah, he was very knowledgeable.
Yes.
He is a native to this land right here.
yes. Yes.
He knows all the people here. They're
And
all
this-
family.
the stories about his family and
Yeah.
growing up. I mean, I think he
Well-
grew up in a traditional Navajo way. I don't think they had running water and electricity. I mean, I think
Yeah.
he grew up that way. I mean, I just think that's incredible.
There was a plant we were next to, and he goes, that is, I think he said we call it the local plant. It's a poisonous
Loco.
plant.
Loco.
Loco. Okay, I thought he said
Crazy.
local.
Yeah.
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 He says that's poisonous and it'll make you sick if you eat it. And
Yeah.
he was also talking about the horses like to chew on it. So you have to try to keep the horses from,
Yeah.
because they'll
Go crazy.
yeah. Well, anyway, let's wrap this up
Yeah.
and finish this out so we can enjoy our evening here.
Mm-hmm.
But like Abby said, 5 stars for Monument Valley. We'd highly recommend it.
Yes.
If you don't want to dry camp here, there's a campground there. Oh, he says that the View Hotel
Yes.
and the View Campground there is a private company that is not owned by Native Americans.
So you're not helping the Navajo necessarily
Yeah.
by staying there. However, it's an incredible view. So
It is a great view.
I'm sure
but
it's lovely.
There's several campgrounds around here, including this one, that are run by like Airbnb. These are all owned by Native American people that live here on this land.
Correct.
So they're making money with your fees that you're paying to stay here.
correct.
Yep.
I'm happy.
Yep, me too.
I'm
All
really
right.
happy.
We're going to see you guys on the next adventure, and we're looking forward to sharing it with you. And we hope you enjoyed this little chat, and maybe it's going to kind of help some of you guys that are wanting to plan your own trip out here.
And send me a message, and I will send you the contact information for our tour.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Do it. Got to do it.
Yes, you have to do it.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.